Getting ready to cut these dados in my side pieces and my top and bottom. The top and bottom are going to be just cut all the way through, but the first thing I wanted to do was make a little gauge block here. I got a auxiliary fence on and my dado set is buried in it. I got the height adjusted exactly right, and then I played with the depth to get for the piece of plywood I have, and I've got that right over here. And this is just a fraction deep, which is what I want. I don't want it to be sitting proud of this, and I don't want it to be exactly flush. Because of the variations in the plywood, you know, it could get, I'm just going to slide it along here and check these edges. I want to make sure it's going to be behind that, and that feels pretty good. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to run my 4 sides. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to stop it on these. I'm going to stop it up here. Short. I could go all the way through. You're never going to see it, but I am going to stop it anyway. I'll run it all the way down this edge and stop it short here as well. The one thing I am going to do when I get to that point, I guess I was gonna plan on putting some stop blocks in there, but I really can't. So I'll just have to make some marks here, and my stop and start points, and just drop it on there like that. Run it, and I'll bring a mark up here where I need to stop as well. So let's get going, and I'll do that. Then we'll just come back. One thing I will tell you is I'm not too concerned if I go just a little bit over. It's not going to be that big of a deal, but I'm trying to be careful here. So that's my start point. This will be my stop point back here. Yeah, I want to stop in before I reach that dado. I'll clean the rest up with a chisel. I'll run this one and then we'll do the rest of them off camera. This will give you an idea of what I'm going to do here. Just got to be a little bit careful. Put it on the line, drop it down, push it through, and then obviously stop when you get to that mark. Clean the rest of this up with a chisel here, and not much to take out there. So let me run the other 3, sorry. I'm going to do the other side that has the stopped cuts, then I'll run the other 2. But I'll come back when I get done with those. Basically the same method I used before. I'm just going to cut, I cut a little curve here, referencing off of this edge, overcutting it just a little bit, And then I'm just going to take and peel this off of here. Should be using a little thinner chisel. Let me grab my other chisel here. All right, I'll get the rest of this with my dado plane. I could probably use a now I can't either really use a shoulder plane, but let me get. All right, I'll do the other one the same way and we can do it right fit. Okay, a couple things. I got a pretty good fit. Everything looks, I mean, it's very reasonable. You know, a little cleanup here and there. But this shelf needs to be cut back. I went in there with my marking knife here and marked that on all four sides, all four corners, I should say. So whichever way it goes on the table saw, I'll have a reference point there. The one thing I did notice here is when I got everything clamped tight together up here, I've got a slight little bow right there, which tells me this is too long. And I did have to knock off a little off of both of these other ones when I trued them up. I trued them up with a hand plane and a shooting board. So I'm going to take these and true up, probably make about a half a dozen passes on each end with the same plane I used on the other ones, and shorten this up a little bit. I'm not going to run it through the table saw. That's just going to take too much time to set that up, and I don't want to run the risk of taking too much off the table saw. So I'll take it with my low angle jack plane, and then we'll cut it to width. But you can see here the nice square corners you end up with doing this. So this is, I'll be able to pull some, actually I can do that before I take it apart, pull some dimensions off here for my plywood. The length will be the same as this, which is 29 and a half, I believe. Or no, 20, let's see, 3/4, 30, 29 and a quarter. Is what this is. So the width of that will be 29 and a quarter. Then I can pull the length off of this, length here from that corner down to this one down here. So let me get busy, and I got a little work ahead of me here. All right, success. I didn't have to take that much off of this board, with my shooting board. Like, you can't see it. Well, maybe I can show it to you here. The hump is gone. It's got a nice clean edge, straight edge, and I'm nice and square. Of course, it's just a dry fit, but it is square. So I'm able to pull this measurement now, and I believe it's 31 1/16. Put my other tape measure away, but let me just see here. See which way the camera's looking. Yeah, I'll go this way then. $35 1/16. Sorry, not 31. 35 1/16. So I'll probably make it 30, just a hair over 35. And then this direction is 29 1/4. So I want that to be a nice fit, but I don't want to have to fight it, so I'll make it just a hair smaller than 29 1/4, and just a hair smaller than 31 1/6 or 35 1/16. So I want to use that to help square everything up too. Okay, but before I do that, I've got to cut these matching dados here on the inside, and then I can put it back on there. I did decide to do this though too. I guess I should tell you that instead of making 6 drawers, I'm going to make 3, and inside the drawer I'll have a little compartment that I can pull out, a shelf inside there, so I can, with just a finger hole. For one thing, it'll give me more usable space. I won't be giving away the divider plus the bottoms, so I'll gain about a 1/2 inch, and if not a little more than that. But I've decided I'm just going to make 3 drawers here. All right, I got this sheet of plywood. You can see this thing is got quite a curl in it. What I've done is attached another extrusion to my fence to keep this side flat to the table. So all I have to worry about is pushing down on this side. So let's see how this is going to work. I think I've got it down flat enough. Yeah, I'm going to drop this just a little bit more. That should work. Cut that 1/2 inch, or about a 1/4 inch wider than what I need. Flip it around, cut it to what I think is going to be my correct width. I'm going to find out with all this. I'm going to set this at 29 1/4. We'll see how this turns out here. Just measure this. Yeah, 29 1/2. All right, let's run this one more time here. looks a little wide up on that end. Let's see. I was kind of reaching there. Let's try this again. That's 29 1/4. Yeah, it's parallel. Well, I'm going to take, I don't want it to be exactly 29 1/4. I want it just a little hair under, so I'm just going to knock my fence over a bit here. I'm on my mark. I'm just going to take a 32nd, if that. One last push here. That'll work. I'm going to try and fit it in there, and then I'll cut it to length here. Got to check for square too. It's pretty close. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I don't know of any other setup with a fence that you could have done that and gotten perfect results. I mean, this thing is right on the money. I can't be happier with that fit. I mean, and that plywood was just, well, you saw it. So, but it fits. It's with that little setup I did to hold down the one edge, and I'm ecstatic. It's perfect. I mean, it's as tight as can be. I got the corners pinned down with clamps, and the middle is, it's got a little movement there, but once I get some glue on that, that thing will be nice and solid. And the thing about this is that this, you're never going to see this on the other side, you know, and I'll be able to pin nail this along that the edge of that board and glue it as well, and then the other side of this is going to get cork, so it's going to be beautiful. I got to just remember to cut my dados for my light and that whole setup, but I'm happy as can be right now.